Hello everyone, this is Mardiman641 here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So we're starting things off at my own home, pretty much 7 years from now. As we clearly see, as adult Link finally knows the truth about his past. Which pretty much explains why, like, none of the, kids around Kakariko are pretty much the same size as him. Because he's completely different. Who would have thought that? But, that being said, let's go ahead and finally do some progress progression. Now, let's go ahead and head back to the Temple of Time, shall we? And I'm gonna speed up the entire journey, so I'll get you guys in a second. I'm gonna speed up the entire journey, so let's go! Okay, so, here we are back in the Temple of Time, and to explain the reason why is because, well, now that we've taken care of the very first, spirit and rescued the first sage, Sheik will have some special advice to tell us. You destroyed the wicked creatures that haunted the temple and awakened the sage. But, there are still other sages who need your help. In order to awaken all the other sages, you must become even more powerful. You must travel over the mountains, underwater, and even through time. If you want to return to your original time, return the Master Sword to the pedestal of time. By doing this, you will travel back in time 7 years. The time will come when you will have to return here quickly. I will teach you this to you for when that time comes. The song to return you to the Temple of Time. The Prelude of Light. Get a new song. This one will definitely be a lifesaver, I'll say that. You have learned the Prelude of Light. As long as you hold the Ocarina of Time and the Master Sword, you hold time itself in your hands. Link, we shall meet again. That is like some beam of light from that, like, Deku Nut, everything else. But yeah, at this point in the game, you can choose to go back 7 years to become Kid Link again and do some stuff. But I'm not gonna do that for a while. So, that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next adventure. So, we're gonna start things off with, of course, a little side quest. So, let's go ahead and let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so, we're gonna be, doing this little Poe quest. This involves, of course, this guy right here, who is harvesting some Poes, of course. So let's get right into it. So, oh, you're quite an energetic young man. You're brave and handsome, too. Your name is Link, isn't it? I don't be surprised. I can read people's minds. If I looked as good as you, I could run a different kind of business. My shop is the only ghost shop in Hyrule. Because of the great Ganondorf, it is a fine time for a business like this. Oh, I can only hope the world gets even worse. The ghosts called Poes are spirits and concentrated hatred that appear in the fields and the graveyards. They hate the world. Young man, if you catch a Poe, I will pay a lot of money for it. Alright, so basically what we're going to be doing, if we're going to do this little Poe quest, now, if you have all 3 empty bottles, this could be a piece of cake. But if you're obviously watching through this Let's Play right now, then you definitely have this type of courage, of course. So anyway, so here's what we're going to be doing within the rest of, well, I'm most likely going to be doing super cutting, so that way you don't have to see this entire process. But here's what we're doing. We're going to be chasing after these big Poes. It requires, obviously, the bow and arrow, and they are in 10 separate spots in Hyrule Field. And there's a total of 10 total, so at best, because you have a total of 3 bottles in your pocket at this point in the game, you'll most likely be leaving out in Hyrule a total of, like, say... You'll be leaving Hyrule and searching for these Poes up to 4 times, because you're looking for 10 of them. And they like to run away, I'll say that. Don't let them get away, don't leave their sight, of course, and definitely try to get a good reel in. Now, these first 3 I am going to show in this one take, because this is basically the entire process. But after I turn, of course, the 3 Poes in, I'm gonna supercut the rest of this. But what you gotta do, of course, you gotta go to all those special locations, and here I am showing all of them for you. That did not work very well. I guess I gotta approach a different angle, which I will. That didn't go very well because my analog controls went everywhere. And just like that. That's basically the fur location. Definitely take note of where I'm going with this video, and you will be able to spot every single Poe location. We're doing the Poe quest in this video. That's what we're doing. We're gonna get this thing out of the way, and yeah, it's gonna be very helpful in the long run. But this first take is only, well, this first 3 Poes is basically showing you the entire process of how it's gonna go. So you grab 3 Poes, of course. Then you go ahead and take them back to, of course, the Poe shop. And then, of course, you have to give your 3 Poes to him. Oh, yes, you brought a Poe today. They're interesting. This is a big Poe. I'll buy it for 50 rubies. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man. And you basically gotta rinse and repeat this 10 times until you eventually give them all 10 of the Poes. But yeah, that's gonna be the entire process. And you can only carry up to 3 Poes, too. So, you're gonna be going outside, at best, 4 times, trying to get every single Poe. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and supercut most of this process, so you don't get to see me constantly go back and forth every time. So that being said, let's go ahead and cut straight to the chase. Okay, so this next Poe location is gonna be a little bit tricky. So here's my trick to this. You go here, make him run away, be in a stand position, then of course turn opponent around. And then, of course, get 1 carrot ready, and then run! Like that. And yeah, that is your 4th Poe. This next Poe is right around this rock. Make sure he doesn't go inside a wall, or else he will instantly get away. I almost did not select him. Okay, the next Poe is going to be a little bit tricky. You have to run this way. and do that. Very easy. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky, because your camera needs to be at a certain position in order for it to work. The next two is a little bit tricky. You basically gotta stay on the road. You basically gotta hit this tree. First and foremost, you gotta position the pose so that way... You gotta position the pose so it doesn't... I could easily lose this if I don't catch up. Got it. You have to position it in a way. The two remaining poses that I'm gonna get is in the Garuda area, and they could be really tricky to get. I'll get the second one later because, right, I'm already like 5 arrows left, and I'm gonna have to grind on some grass to get more arrows. Okay, next pose. So, the next pose is located in this area of Hyrule. And you gotta basically run this patch of grass, and then shoot him like that. And therefore you get yourself another Poe, of course. Only 2 more left. Okay, so the next one is right here. Sorry for that weird angle there. Little bit tight. Barely got him. Barely. He almost got inside that wall. And, it's a little bit tricky. There's probably a few ways, and they're very tight. But, and this is not my recommended way, but I was lucky to get this one like that. But, I'm pretty sure there's other ways to do it. I think the last one is around this tree. Okay, I found him. Woo! How you like my sniping skills, ladies and gentlemen? Now hurry, get off the horse before he disappears. Get off the horse before he disappears. Okay, that's where the last one is, and that's all the pose. So let's go ahead and finally turn them in and get our reward. Alright, so let's go ahead and finally turn in our last pose, of course. I turned in most of them off screen because, well, showing you only the first process, and now here's my last process of, like, turning in the last remaining pose. And, let's go ahead and get our reward, shall we? I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man yourself. Wait a minute. Wow! You have earned 1,000 points. Young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Is that what you expected me to say? Because of you, I have extra inventory of big pose, so this will be the last I can buy a ghost. You're thinking about what I promised would happen when you earned 1,000 points. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this. So a reward for doing this Poe quest is an empty bottle. After you put something inside the bottle. Yeah. So basically, after giving you 10 empty bottles filled with big Poes, you give me an extra empty bottle. So now we have filled our empty bottle inventories. Now, that's basically all 4 empty bottles we've collected in the game. And that was some journey, wasn't it? Sure it was, wasn't it? But let's go ahead and, I guess we'll make a little bit more progression, shall we? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up to, of course, Hyrule Castle. Well, not Hyrule Castle, but we're gonna hurry up to Kakariko before it comes dark. I wanna just do a little bit of a mini-game when we get to, Hyrule Castle. And there's some stuff. There is a side quest here, but I'm not gonna start it yet. I'll do it after the next dungeon. But here we are in the current Kakariko village. This is where most of the citizens that had to abandon the Castletown Market was able to live now. As you can see, there's the dancing guys, of course. The building here finished construction. That's what we're gonna be doing next, actually. So let's go ahead and I guess do this, shall we? So this is of course the shooting gallery again, but this time we're doing as Adult Link, and of course we did 7 years ago as Young Link, but we're gonna do it again as Adult Link, and the Adult Link version is more randomized. So definitely put that into an account. Mine was not the best. Mainly my analog controls are pretty bad. Oh my god. I definitely need a new controller. I definitely need a new controller. Wow. I'm gonna need a new controller, guys. Otherwise, we're gonna suck a lot. But yeah, now, because I didn't get the recommended amount, I have to pay an extra 20 rubies, but that's okay. We have plenty of rubies. Second attempt. Man, I get nervous when trying to work with a very sensitive analog stick. But I think I got it here. There we go. Second attempt. And this is where you get, of course, the quiver upgrade. Of course, we get a... of course, if you do it as Young Link, you'll get a Deku Seed upgrade for your slingshot. As Adult Link, you get a quiver upgrade for your bow and arrow. And boy, was that selling fun, wasn't it? Also, I don't think we've collected... Did I collect 50 Sculpture Reward? I forgot. I'm gonna double check just to make sure. I forgot if I ever gotten the 50 Sculpture Reward or not. I think it's over here, right? This curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. And we get a piece of heart. This also completes another heart container. So now we got 13 pieces of heart in our inventory. That's pretty fancy. So yeah, thank goodness I came by to check that. And there is a little bit more to do. Do I want to do it right now, or should I just wait on that? Let's wait on it. I'll save it for later. Again, a lot of residents from, of course, everything else moved over here. And, of course, there's also the bazaar and, of course, the potion shop. Both here, of course. Both being fancy. But let's go ahead and climb up to Death Mountain. And, yeah, we're gonna do a few more things when we're going all the way up here. Now, if you guys remembered, as Young Link, I placed a magic bean up on top of here. And the main reason why I did that is so we can get a piece of heart that is on top of here. By circumstances, this is how you're supposed to get it. And yes, you could sequence break as Young Link or Adult Link through a different other matter, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it how, like, most people would do it. But now I'm gonna go ahead and re-enter the Dongo's Cavern, and I'm gonna go ahead and collect some Skulltulas